welcome to my video. My name is Joanne Brasch. I work at the California Product Stewardship Council, and today I'm going to be talking about some solar panel pilot projects that we have going on. CPSC is a 501c3 nonprofit. We're primarily funded by local government, haulers, recyclers, and other waste organizations looking to reduce our systematic costs by engaging producers in end-of-life solutions. Today, we're going to be talking about solar panels, which is a growing waste stream, not only in California, but across the country. In California specifically, we had some regulatory updates, specifically that were finalized in 2021, which impacted not only our projects, but the rollout of solar panel recycling programs across the state. We know that solar panel recycling is a growing problem as the panels that were originally installed as early adopters are starting to come off roofs. They were estimated to last 20 to 30 years. But as we saw more and more solar panels being adopted, the quality and durability decreased. So as we are examining the types of solar panels that are entering the waste stream, we're noticing that they vary in age and they're not as old as we thought they were. In California, previous to 2021, solar panels were managed under hazardous waste. After 2021, it is now regulated as universal waste. Some of the key features of our program here in California is that any of the handlers or recyclers who intend to participate need to file a notice of intent to DTSC as we look to industry to give us guidance and some information as to how to manage these products as they meet their end of life. We specifically started looking for information on reuse, repair, and opportunities to repurpose these solar panels in other uses. We noticed in February 2021, then NREL put out some best practices on repairing and repowering PV systems. This particular article from the NREL made a couple other policy recommendations, including decommission and deconstruction mandates. We do feel that there needs to be a little bit more research on the durability and other applications of solar panels that comes from independent sources so that we can know the true use value of these products. When we started to do our research into reuse and repair opportunities, we found that it's already happening in everyday markets throughout the state, that neighbors are sharing unwanted solar panels, they're being sold on online marketplaces, and often being repurposed into non-residential uses. CPSC has had several solar panel projects publicly funded here in California. Some of the ones that we have up on the screen, I would take a few moments to talk about. The main ones we're going to really focus on are the CalRecycle pilot projects. These are the City of Santa Monica and Butte County who are launching a free solar panel collection opportunity for all residents. In addition to those two pilot projects, Stop Waste from Alameda County funded CPSC to do research on the rules and regulation for reusing solar panels within our local economy. Additionally, San Mateo funded CPSC to conduct additional research on installers and residents to get insight on some of the perceptions and market trends for solar panels. Several of CPSC's solar panel projects included direct interaction and market research with residents and solar panel installers. We started to ask more about what year they installed their panels, if they intended to get panels in the next 5 years, and how they approached end-of-life management of the solar panels, whether they're residents or installers. We found out some pretty interesting things. And one of the things to really consider is what are some of the drivers of adoption? Here in California, we do have a mandate, although it was postponed because of the pandemic, solar panels will be required on all new houses. So we know that Through this mandate, we're going to see more builders grade solar panels being put onto houses just to meet the compliance. But we will see a more variety in durability and recyclability. As we discussed more with these installers, we found that 86% of the installers we spoke to did not have an end of life management process in place. Many of them actually had solar panels in their warehouses ready for installation. And I will say this 29% was calculated in 2019 when we did our pre-project surveys. Now that we've actually launched our events and we're calling a lot more of the solar panel installers, we're finding that this number is actually much higher and that many more of these solar panel installers have solar panels awaiting disposal. We also found in our research that many of them, when they don't have an end of life process or program available, they often find creative ways for reuse or repurpose, whether it's furniture, the solar panel scooter that we came across from the Bay Area. A lot of them are being used, whether it's on RVs, pool heaters, art installations. We've seen quite a few repurposed panels at Burning Man. But we see these secondhand use are often off-grid and on non-residential uses. Through our research with Stopways, we started asking more about the opportunity to reuse panels on houses in that residential use. But what we found was that in the permitting process, they're not actually asking if the panels are new and what year they were actually manufactured oftentimes. We feel like this is an area that needs some clarification in the regulatory system with some great opportunities to repurpose these panels and keep the energy generation in our communities. If they're not being used locally, they are being shipped abroad, whether it's to Mexico or another country, oftentimes not having the same safety precautions with the hazardous waste or universal waste management for when they're at their end of life. This summer, CPSC launched 2 collection events in our pilot project areas of City of Santa Monica and Butte County. We are offering free residential solar panel recycling to residents within those jurisdictions and nearby. We've opted for an appointment-based pickup collection as opposed to drop-off because we didn't want to confuse the residents that this was an ongoing program. At the end of the day, this is still a pilot. We want to analyze costs and opportunities before we do public announcements of any ongoing opportunities. We worked our hardest to get as much repair and reuse worked into these programs as possible, and so that we can pilot and show the reuse opportunities from the very beginning. So we've worked with Habitat for Humanity in both areas so that we can divert working panels into a safe retail space. So if anyone is interested in their local solar panel reuse opportunities, Habitat for Humanity is a great first call. One of their concerns was they didn't want to get left over with any unworking panels at the end of the pilot. So we have agreements at the end of our project. We will dispose of any unsold panels from Habitat to assist them with that burden of dealing with unwanted panels. What I'm going to do next is we're going to go ahead and call my staff member, Cameron Kubose, who's been our lead on the solar panel collection events. And she's going to walk us through the application process so you can see firsthand how residents and installers can interact with these pilots and get their pickup requests submitted.
Hey, Joanne.
Hey, Cameron. I'm with the NAHMMA viewers. I was hoping you could walk us through how you're interacting with the installers and the public to let them know that we're having the solar panel collection going on.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much for calling me. As Joanne said, my name is Cameron, and I'm working on the free solar panel collection event for the City of Santa Monica and Butte County. We've been doing a lot of outreach and preparation for this event. So let me tell you a little bit more about the details of our events. So at the City of Santa Monica, we are calling installers who have installed solar panels in the Santa Monica area, and we're calling them to see if they have any unwanted solar panels that they want us to collect. So let me share my screen and show you what we've been doing. So as we call these local installers, if they are interested and have unwanted solar panels, we will send them this email that lays out the steps for them to participate. So we can start off here with step number 1, and we created an appointment request form for them to fill out. So we can click here, and it will take us to the form that they will fill out with information about their solar panels. We ask general questions in order to gather more data about the solar panels, see what their connection is to the solar panels. And something important to note is that, let's say we call an installer and they have residential solar panels, but they are not the original homeowner. They need to provide a signed homeowner release form in order for us to collect those solar panels. We also ask what type of solar panels. Generally, we've been seeing that the installers have a little bit more information about the specifications of the solar panels, but we try to include as many questions about the solar panels as possible to collect this data. We ask how many panels do they have for collection, whether they were working. And we also ask the reason that the panels need collection. This also helps with our data collection. And lastly, they input their contact information and send off the appointment form. Once we receive that, I send out an email or I call them to let them know that we have received their form and that they will be put on our list. And once they are on our list, we are working with the California Conservation Corps to schedule pickups at these designated locations. Right now, they are on track to pick up on Fridays, and we're really excited.
Thanks for walking us through that, Cameron. For those of you still on this video and still interested in how you can engage with solar panel recycling, here's some of our tips for you. One is to invest in durable, repairable panels that have a warranty, and even look for the manufacturers with really good take-back programs. If you notice there's a problem, try to repair it as soon as possible and get your system back to fully functional. If you're taking your panels off and they are still working, please call your habitat. Look for local buy nothing groups or local reuse opportunities. Tap into those artists in your communities and try to find some local reuse opportunities. We know that if not here in California, there are also reuse opportunities outside of the state. So again, look into reuse before recycling. But for the panels that are broken and the panels that don't work, recycling is ultimately better than the other options of landfilling or disposal services. So we look to some of the leaders in our recycling industry. Here in California, we are contracting with SEER, the California Electronic Asset Recycler in Sacramento, and CalMicro as our 2 contracted recyclers for these projects. We encourage you to look into your own local recycling opportunities, as we found many others in the state as we did our research. And if you're in our grant areas or you know anyone in the city of Santa Monica or Butte County, please let them know about this event. We'll be going through the end of the year and we'll be taking solar panels before we put out our big report. Cameron and I thank you so much for listening to our video and listening to our solar panel projects. If you have any questions, we invite you to email us. You can go to our website and you can also find more information on the projects there. So thank you again and have a wonderful rest of your conference.